Good morning from day 143. We are in a place called West Hartford. We spent the night back there at on a wonderful trail angels for Linda, and had an amazing back garden, and she hosted the heck out of us. We ordered Domino pizza, which got delivered. It was pretty great. There was a bridge that everyone jumped off except me, because I couldn't bring myself to step off. But this place is right on trail, and they were real nice to host. Yeah, plan today is to get to Norwich, and we'll see where we go from there. So Hartford has a couple of great trail angels who put you up and whatever. Don't know how much of this I said because there was interruptions. The plan for today is to head into a place called Norwich, where we are staying with another trail angel who in a church, so see that. It's about 8-ish miles, and then hopefully find somewhere, I think maybe Molly's pub in Hanover itself, which is like maybe another couple of miles, to watch the Euro finals, where I think England will probably lose to Spain, but I'm hopeful. Everything's a little weird at the moment because, so yesterday in the news, it seems like, it's depending on what day you're reading, but like this will give you an indication of how far behind we are. But Trump got shot at, so everyone's a little freaking out. There was a guy back there who was like, "Have you seen the news? As long as you don't vote for Trump." So yeah, it's a bit weird. Everything seems strange. People are worried. In other news, our friend Chunks that we met the other day definitely did not get shot.
Oh God! He's showing his video.
Well, I didn't say who said it. I'm just saying that some people.
It was me.
Some people may have misheard and thought that our friend Chunks got shot, but Chunks is okay. Thoughts and prayers with Chunks, who is definitely okay on the long trail, or hopefully he didn't get shot on the long trail. But yeah, that's the. It's really funny. It's so funny how like things happen, because now all of the people that we hiked on the long trail for a little bit, so Ralph and Swampfoot and others, have been harassing Gadget about the fact that Chunks has not been shot. And I want to say, poor Gadget was just concerned for her friend.
I was.
And you know, she's got a big heart and cares for people. She's got a big heart and bad hearing.
I absolutely have bad hearing.
But it's good to know that if something happens to one of our trail friends, that Sass's parents will probably have heard about it and told us.
It wasn't Sass's parents, it was Pumbaa's parents.
No, Sass's parents told us.
Her. Okay.
Yeah.
But like Pumbaa's
parents were worried.
Yeah.
So Sass's parents are going to report the news of any trail shooting.
It's so great that the train doesn't come
real fast
really
from these.
these.
But yeah, anyway, happy hiking and thoughts and prayers with Chunks. So I just remembered what I was talking about. So we stopped at Linda and Randy's, and Linda was telling us, or telling me at least, about Hurricane Irene, which came through in 2011 and basically devastated the whole place. The river was up over the railings on the bridge, which, when you see the footage and pictures of that, is insane. So much water, and it basically damaged everything in town. Their house got kind of like destroyed, shoved off the foundations, and they've basically been rebuilding it and the barn and everything since. So yeah, scary stories, and complete freak. Not something they normally get around here, but it's crazy. And I mentioned to her, maybe, like, given that she's been trail angeling for people on trail for years and years and years and years and years, that maybe, she could reach out to the hiking community, and have people help out. I'm sure there's builders and roofers and people with actual tangible skills, better than random business analysts who have no tangible skills, who could help them out, pay it forward kind of thing, and a little bit of karma for all the great stuff they do. And her response was, oh no, I couldn't ask people to do that. I'd feel terrible if one of them fell off a roof or something. It's like, it's crazy. It's just no thought of like help, just that they'll build it at some point, and they'll convert their barn back to, or their garage back to, a place where hikers can have bunks. Just wild how kind people can be. Some people anyway. And yeah, but yeah, this place, they all evacuated, every house damaged. Yeah, sounds crazy. Apparently there were still 80 hikers coming through even when the hurricane got downgraded to tropical storm at the last, just before it hit in here. But yeah, there were still 80 hikers trying to hike through, which I think says a lot about 80 hikers and how stupid we are. So anyway, yeah, that was the little bit to fill in. But yeah, she says they host like 1,000 to 1,500 hikers every year. They have people camping pretty much every day in their backyard. And she usually bakes, but it's been too hot to bake, so she's not done baking, and so she was sorry about that. And
one time she had 49 people in her backyard.
Yeah, she had over 80, like before, like for like one of the first times. So her son was hiking. Oh no, her cousin was hiking, or nephew was hiking, and he was telling everyone, hey, when you're there you should stop in.
Oh, that's nice.
And so they kind of heard that he'd been saying this.
Yeah.
And so they started saying to people who were hiking through, hey, we're gonna have a party this week. Mm-hmm. And so people started staying instead of like hiking through. And so they had like over 80, she said.
That's insane.
All in her garden and in their bunkhouse and all this kind of stuff. And they did like 400 pounds of chicken that they barbecued and stuff. So it's just crazy. And she said they used to do breakfast in the morning for people, but because it's so many people now, they've had to stop, because otherwise they'd be making breakfast till like 1 p.m. sometimes. And I'm like, well, it's not just about that, it's like the cost and the effort every day. And she's like, oh, that doesn't bother us, it's just the timings. They're truly crazy generosity, and yeah, can't say enough of it. I firmly recommend stopping in to see them on your way through, and staying if you need somewhere to stay, because the garden's great, they're great, and there's a bridge you can jump off if you're not a big soap chicken. So the Connecticut River is the border between Vermont and New Hampshire. So 8.7 to New Hampshire, holy shit. Okay, of course I don't think it would be the AT or Vermont in particular without seeing us off with another little bit of a pod. So we got maybe 1,000, 1,200 feet of elevation gain over 3 miles or something. So yeah, I mean it's beautiful, but I don't think there's much in the way of actual views or anything. It's just, let's do some climbing up and over, because, yeah, AT and Vermont. So I think that's it. I think that's the summit of whatever this is. There's Happy Hill Shelter, and maybe less than half a mile now, which is on the other side of where I was climbing. Well, this is pretty cool. Lots of mushrooms. And it's been real pretty. I am drenched in sweat, of course, because it's warm and humid. But yeah, it was a pretty nice climb through some pretty beautiful woodland. Met a couple of Sobo hikers. We've been seeing more of them pop up over the last few days, which is crazy. And like, I guess it's starting to like sink in a little bit that where we are. But I was chatting to one of them, and she said that all of this is so cruisy after the whites, which terrifies me a little bit, because obviously been sweating my butt up and down hills. Not that they've been up and down these mountains, not that they've been hard in terms of like, oh, I can't breathe or whatever, but just that it sounds like another notch up through the whites, which is what most people talk about. They talk about the whites being some of the most difficult parts of the whole AT. Lots of elevation, lots of like rock climbs, that kind of stuff. But I'm also very excited by it, because again, that same Sobo said, there's just views everywhere all the time. So it sounds great. And I've heard from other people, particularly shout out to Al, about the Badger, I think was you were shouting when he did it. So about how entering the whites kind of rejuvenated and reinvigorated the excitement. So I am looking forward to that, because it's been a rough week or so, maybe even longer, to be honest, where things have felt like a bit of a grind. And out here for 4.5 months, nearly 5, coming for 5 months. It's it takes its toll. But I think we're all excited for the whites. I think we're all slightly terrified, but at the same point, again, slow and steady up and over some difficult climbs, and we're more than likely going to be going through it together to try and help and support each other, even if that's just emotionally through tough days. But yeah, it's getting very real. I say the plan today, so I'm already like about halfway for the day, and it's only 9:30. So we I don't know. I guess maybe I thought the schlop up and over that relatively puddy hill, pointless up and downy hill might take a bit longer. The elevation map on far out made it look a little more, not daunting, but like as if it was going to take more. But yeah, we'll see. But that would be great if I can get into Norwich. And I keep saying Norwich, but they do definitely pronounce it Norwich here. Now, the wonderful Reverend Jenny that I haven't spoken to, so Pumba has arranged all this because he's legendary. From the list of people that they gave us at Green Mountain House, Reverend Jenny has space for us in the rectory. So for the 5 of us, so Gadget, Sass, Pumba, Cheese Block, and myself are staying there. But it's, not till after 1 p.m. And I don't know if it's just because it's Sunday, but they've got church stuff to sort. So totally understand. I don't know what facilities she has in the rectory, if there's a shower, if there's laundry, whatever there is. Because I'm just figuring, hey, I'll figure it out when I get there, and I didn't want to bother Pumba to keep going back and being like, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because again, we'll figure it out when we get there. I will say so we're going to be there tonight, and then we're zeroing tomorrow. And so I'm extremely excited to do laundry, shower, and have a day kind of just chilling in some clean clothes and hopefully smelling okay and relaxing before we go out and hit up the whites. I'm excited to see Hanover and Dartmouth College. I'm excited today to get to somewhere for the England game. I am not confident that we'll win, but I'm hopeful. But it'll be nice to sit and watch it in a bar. Again, assuming somewhere's got it on. Because I say nice, I think it'd be a bit surreal too, because that's a slice of kind of home that I haven't had for a while. The games I've managed to catch out here, including the Oxford playoff final. Come on, you yellows. They've been caught on the phone in snippets here and there, in between doing other stuff. So the idea of being in a sat down bar is kind of wild. So yeah, excited for that. But anyway, all that's to say, Vermont, I was a little grumpy about Vermont kicking us out with another pod, but it wasn't tough at all, and it's so beautiful that not necessarily re-evaluating my whole stance on the mud, because a lot of it is again relatively pointless at points, and it's muddy and it's hot and humid and it's buggy, but it's still real beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited for New Hampshire, which we get when we go into Hanover. That's the border. But yeah, I'm not too sad to be saying goodbye to Vermont. And I think I've talked to a few people about this, and there's a lot of people who are feeling kind of similar in terms of burnt out's probably the wrong expression, but and we can see the end coming, but we're not close enough to be real excited by the end. So it's just there's apprehension and excitement for the whites, and then I think that will put us into touching distance to the end and excitement there. So it's just a weird feeling, and I wonder if maybe Vermont because of the time that people hit it, you know, when it's starting to get hot and humid and buggy and whatever. I'm wondering if people start to have Vermont blues instead of Virginia blues. But yeah. Anyway, I think I might go down and take a look at this shelter because it's supposed to be an interesting one, and it's 0.1. So I'm just going to drop my pack and head down there. So this is coming down to Happy Hill Shelter. I'm being a little quiet because I don't know if anybody is in there. So I will probably stop recording while I approach too much. And then record if there's no one in there. If they don't mind. Looks like maybe there's no one in there. So look at this. This is pretty cool. Looks like the mosaic up there has fallen down. Very cool. Okay, yeah, this is a weird little shelter. That's cute. Plenty of spots for tenting around, but it is quite buggy. So yeah, I'm gonna head back out. Cool.